You saw it on the thumbnail. You saw it on the intro. We got the Haoqi Rhino. I'm not sure how they pronounce the first part, but it's definitely called the Rhino. And this is, man, they've been talking about moped style e-bikes. This is one of the first ones I've seen that really takes it to that moped kind of level without going too far. Although it does go a little further than it should. We're going to talk about that later. But first, let's do a walk around on the bike, do a little bit of a ride video. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you about the price, the features and stuff like that. And then we'll finish up with another ride video so you can get the full ride experience. All right, let's cut over to it. Well, there it was. You saw it. This is an exceptional bike. So let's talk about it. First of all, the company, Haoqi there, Haoqi, pronounce it however you want. But this is their bike, the Rhino electric bike. It's normally listed at $2,400, currently on sale for $1,600, $1,599 there. And you know what? It's one of these bikes you just look at and you're like, that looks good. You look at the seat, the leather looks premium. And people will stop and look at this bike. It is a really good looking bike. It looks like a light motorcycle kind of thing. And it's not really lying about it in some ways. So it's got a nice display you saw there in the video. It has a top speed of 28 miles an hour. Now, just understand that's limited. There's government regulations regarding e-bikes. There's a federal guidance on it, and then each state is allowed to make up their own laws. But basically 28 speed is the maximum, and most of these bikes are electronically limited to 28 miles per hour. So there's nothing really new about that. It has upgraded hydraulic brakes, which is great when you have something this powerful and this fast. Alloy adjustable suspension, we're going to talk about that, the adjustable forks and all that kind of stuff. Now, here's the thing where it gets interesting. The battery is a 52 volt, 26.1 amp hour. That's a big battery. Okay, that is, I often say when comparing other bikes that I look for a battery that's usually in the 14 to 16 amp hour range as the equivalent. And a lot of those are 48 volts, sometimes 52 volts. So this is at the top of the volt range and maybe 1.5 times again, battery capacity. So you're really going to get a lot of extra range on this bike than you would over like a standard e-bike. Now you can sit there and say, the riding position may not be the most optimal riding position for, bike riding commuter kind of stuff. But if you don't mind the hybrid, you like the more kind of forward kind of design, and you're going to be using throttle more than say on some of the other bikes, that extra battery is going to really come into play. That's a huge benefit on this one. Let's talk about some of the other features, okay? We talked about well, hold on. Let's see if I can get there. Here we go. Upgraded hydraulic brakes. I talked about the leather seat there. That is super nice. The front suspension, it does have an adjustable and lockable front suspension. Nice LED front light. The Shimano 7-speed gear shift set. It's got the basket underneath. I don't know if I'd be putting a ton of groceries and stuff in there, but it's there. Nice colored display. We talked about the battery there and the aluminum crankshaft or crankset on it because they're trying to save weight where they can. As far as the specifics there, I'm going to put this up here. You can pause and read it through all the specifics if you want. One thing I do want to talk about, though, is they're talking about the tires, 20 by 4 inch. That's something you're going to want to consider because this comes with knobby tires. All right, it's a hardtail bike. It does have a decent front suspension, and I love the fat tires, and that's going to give you a more comfortable ride. But it's a hardtail. This is not I'm sorry, guys, it's not an off-road bike, and that's the thing that you need to be honest about. Can you go off-road on it? Sure, I take my Honda Civic off-road if I want, or if I had a Honda Civic. But the point is, it's not what this thing is made for. It should have come with road slicks or road tires because this is a road bike. This is made for cutting and carving through traffic, through town, commuting, that sort of thing, or maybe like some sort of all-terrain kind of stuff. But the knobby tires is just kind of a waste because this is going to spend 99% of its time on pavement. If it is off-road, it's just cutting through some grass or across a dirt path to get to more pavement. This is not a downhill bike. It's not an off-road bike. Can you do off-road? Yes, but that is not. Think about it. It looks like a cafe racer for a reason. That's the shape, design, and that's where its sweet spot really is. All right, I've harped on that one enough. Let's keep going here. And then let's talk. I love that they show the geometry. I love that they include that here so you can really see it. And then, you can talk about if you know your bikes and what works for you, you can look at this and be like, hey, this is going to fit, this is not going to fit, that sort of thing. And then also they have a ton of accessories I just wanted to mention. You got mirrors, extra batteries, helmets, all sorts of fun stuff. Again, I'm going to put links to everything down below so you can go and check it out. But as I said, this is a company that's been around for a while. If we come here, we look at their e-bikes, they have a huge selection of bikes here, from folding bikes to standard bikes to step-through bikes to cargo bikes. And the moped style, the electric motorcycle here, that is really something. But the one thing I do want to mention that needs to be brought up is, and let me come down here and find it here for you, is we need to talk about that motor. Because this is a 1,000 watt brushless motor. Now, I was expecting them to say that it's, peak 1,000, sustained 750, and that may honestly be the case. But it doesn't feel like that, and I've looked, I haven't seen anything saying that that's a peak rating, which means that's probably the standard rating. Here's why that's important. When I said before about being over the line, the government regulations, I don't know if quite a law per se, but the regulations for what's considered a bike stop at 750 in my understanding, okay? 750 watts. So often you'll see bikes at 500 or 750. Sometimes you'll see some where it's integrated into the crank set and it'll be 300 or 350 in that range. But at 1,000 watts, at that point you're getting into that. It all depends on basically. Let me back it up. It all depends on how much horsepower it produces, because a lot of the laws don't actually specify how many watts. It specifies as how many horsepower. So take a look at this, because if you live in an area where they're sticklers about e-bikes and they're going to stop you and talk to you about what it is, you might get in a bit of a pickle here with a 1,000 watt motor. That said, it's a cool bike, man. There's just no two ways about it. I gave it to my daughter, and she has been tearing around town with this. She absolutely loves this thing. Now, she's 14, almost 15. She's 5'6", just to give you an idea about size and stuff. She was the one riding the bike in the video. But I'll tell you what, I'm a big guy. I can ride this thing. Not that I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. I just had some surgery here, so I got to take it easy. But I did sit on it. It seems pretty darn comfortable, and it holds up to 400 pounds. So, man, this is a big. It's not a big bike, but it's a sturdy, well-built bike. And we talk about a lot of e-bikes on the channel. and they're all basically kind of variations of the same thing. This is not. They really went above and beyond with this bike. And I want to thank Haoqi for sending it over, because this is a pretty cool bike. My daughter's going to get a ton of use of it this summer. I know that, and for the summers to come. We live in a small town here in Montana. A population off-season is about 7,500. On-season's about double that. And she's got all sorts of plans already for all the adventures she's going on this summer. Anyway, if you're looking for a fun e-bike, something with a little bit extra oomph, especially if you got hills in your area, that added torque there and the wattage of that motor is going to really help you get up those hills. This might be a bike to consider. If you're looking for a hardcore off-roader, this ain't it. If you're going to live in an area where the cops are kind of picky and they're going to stop and talk to you about your bikes and stuff and check on stuff like that, this isn't going to be it for you. But for everyone else, I think it's definitely one you want to consider. Anyway, thanks to Haoqi for sending this one over. We really appreciate it. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Is this the kind of bike you're looking for? What style of bike are you most interested in? Put it in the comments down below. Again, I'll have links to all this stuff down below in the video details. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, smash the subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.